Welcome to Vision Hub. Today we're going to be looking at the topic of memory and the unit of sort of coding capacity duration when it comes to memory. AQA AS psychology. So to begin, we're going to talk about coding. So coding is the way in which information, so the format that the information is stored in our different memory stores. Badley in 1966 gave 4 groups of participants different lists to remember. Group 1 had acoustically similar words, so these were words that sounded similar. Group 2 had acoustically dissimilar words, so words that didn't sound the same. Group 3 had semantically similar words, so words that had similar meanings. And Group 4 had semantically dissimilar words, so words that had dissimilar meanings, so different meanings. It was found that when participants recalled the words straight after hearing them, that this is our short-term memory, performance was worse with acoustically similar words. Whereas when the list was recalled after 20 minutes, so long-term memory was being tested, performance was worse with semantically similar words. So the strength of Badley's study is that it provides evidence for short-term memory being mainly acoustically coded and long-term memory being mainly semantically coded. However, a weakness is that artificial stimuli were used because word lists are not representative of everyday memory, so the findings lack mundane realism and cannot be generalized to everyday memory. When it comes to capacity is how much information can be held in the memory store. Jacobs in 1887 tested how to measure the digit span. So the researcher gives the participants 4 digits to recall out loud in the correct order. If the words are recalled by the participant in the correct order, the researcher reads 5 digits and so on until the participant cannot recall the order correctly. So obviously 5 digits, then 6 digits, then 7 digits, etc. And it was found that the mean span for digits was 9.3 items and the mean span for letters was 7.3. A strength of Jacobs' study is that it provides evidence for short-term memory having a capacity of 7 plus or minus 2 items and the long-term memory having an unlimited capacity. However, this study was done several years ago, and this is a problem because early research had a lack of control over variables. For example, participants getting distracted and not performing well could reduce the validity of the findings. Miller also did research into capacity in 1956 where the span of memory and chunking was being tested. So everyday practices were observed. For example, he took notes of the fact that several things come in sevens. For example, 7 days in a week, and found that the capacity of the short-term memory is 7 plus or minus 2 items. But people can recall 5 words, then 5 letters via a process called chunking, which is when you group sets of digits or letters into units or chunks. A strength is that this study has research support because Jacobs supports that we just looked at this study and Jacobs' study, and it supports that the capacity of the short-term memory is 7 plus or minus 2 items, which obviously increases reliability. However, the capacity of the short-term memory could have been overestimated because Cohen in 2000 reviewed other research and found that the capacity of the short-term memory was in fact 4 chunks. And this is on the lower end of Miller's estimate, so it may be better to say 5 items instead of going for 7. Like Miller and Jacobs did so. So now we're going to look at duration. So duration is the amount of time that information can be held in our memory for. Peterson in 1959 tested the duration of short-term memory. So they had 24 undergraduate students who took part in 8 trials. In each trial they were given consonant syllables to remember and a 3-digit number. So they were asked to count backwards from the 3-digit number until they were told to stop by the researcher, and this was done to prevent them rehearsing the syllables. They were told to stop at different times each time for each of the 8 trials, so it could be after 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 or 18 seconds, and this was called the retention interval. It was found that the short-term memory has a short duration unless something is repeated over and over again, and this was termed verbal rehearsal. A strength of this study is that it provides evidence that the duration of the short-term memory is in fact 18 to 30 seconds, which is really not that much when you come to think about it. However, a weakness is that the stimulus material was artificial because remembering syllables and three-digit numbers is not even representative of the sort of memory we encounter daily, which reduces mundane realism and so generalizability to our daily memory tasks. Another study into duration was done by Barrick in 1975, where the duration of the long-term memory was tested. So they were 392 American participants aged between 17 and 74 years old, and they obtained their high school yearbooks. Recall was tested on a photo recognition test, which consisted of 50 photos, some of which were from their yearbooks, and a free recall test where you had to recall the names of the graduating class. It was found that after 15 years of graduation, 90% accuracy in the photo recognition test. After 48 years of age recall, decreased to 70% in the photo recognition test. Performance was better on the photo recognition test than the free recall test, and this obviously does make sense. After 15 years of graduation, free recall was approximately 60% accurate, and this decreased to 30% after 48 years. The strength of this study is that it provides evidence that the long-term memory can last a long time. And it also has a high mundane realism because the task was not artificial, as real-life meaningful memories were studied, increasing external validity. However, there can be a lack of control over confounding variables because the participants could have looked at their yearbooks before they took part in the study and refreshed their memories, and this decreases internal validity. In our next video, we will be looking at the multi-store model of memory, but before then, make sure you make your notes on what we've covered so far. Remember to revise, rest, test, and repeat yourself. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Thank you to Canva because I made these slides using their templates. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, press the bell icon on our channel, Revision Hub. Thank you so much.